Angie Driskell. I'm a teacher. Actually, I'm an online English teacher, and I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, but I've been teaching for way longer than that. That's why I'm a big advocate for education. In my free time, I like to cook and I like to bake, and my favorite pastime, my favorite hobby, is to plan events, especially for charity, such as my Sparkle events, which is usually around December. It started out as like a gift-giving thing, and then we started doing back-to-school programs. Advocacy work is important for me because it gives me a way, it allows me to help other people, especially children. I'm all about helping children, and I hope that we can do more for children, especially education-wise. That started maybe in 2002, 2003 with my best friend Grace. And what started out is just this idea of, I wish we could do more. Ended up becoming this huge annual project until she passed away. And then after taking a break, I ended up picking up where I left off, and it became Sparkle. With advocacy work, it gives you a chance to do something for people who can't necessarily do anything for you. And I think that's the whole point of it, and that's what I want my children to understand, is that you have an obligation to help others, even if they can't give anything back to you in return. That's what we're all here for on this planet, is to help each other and to coexist. And another thing that I like to insist upon, and I can't express any stronger than I already have, is sometimes we don't have a lot to give. Charity work, advocacy work, it's not about how much money you have or what you can give exactly. It's just about this time and effort that you have, that you can spend doing something good and putting something good back into the world. As far as happy and becoming part of Happy, that was kind of unexpected. It was an unexpected surprise for me, because it all started when I saw a post on Dwang's Facebook page about a reading room, and they were they were asking for donations for a reading room in the Aita community. And I thought, yeah, I want to do that. Like I said, I'm all about education. So it started with that. I donated some workbooks, some books, some teaching materials. And after that, I started keeping tabs on the Happy events. And I was just blown away at how much they do for the community and all the different advocacies that they have. So I said to myself, this is what I want to be part of. I want to be able to help people the way that Happy does. And I am actually very happy to be part of Happy. It's done a lot for me. It's changed my outlook on things, and it's changed my life, actually. I am a very strong believer that the Philippines has a long way to go when it comes to critical thinking. Very quickly, I realized this when I was about 14 years old, and I had a disagreement, an argument with my grandmother, because we were discussing Good Friday. And mind you, I wasn't saying that I didn't want to be a Catholic. I just said, you know, not everybody in the world believes in your God. And that just caused this huge argument and disagreement. And I thought to myself, I didn't say I was denouncing a God. I just wanted to express this idea that not everybody believed in it. And it just totally threw us off. She was so angry, breaking things. And that's when I realized we can't coexist in a world that doesn't accept differences. So based on how her old school thinking was, I realized, you know, I think the Philippines has a long way to go, especially when it comes to equal rights, when it comes to how we view one another as humans. And that's really sad, because we're supposed to be one people. I would like to believe that I do have the values of a true humanist. I am also aware that I have a lot to learn, and I have a long way to go. But I think through Happy and with the help of everybody that I've met and who I work with, that yeah, I think that I could definitely embody everything that humanism is. And I do hope that that comes off in how we give back to the community. I also hope that people stop to listen long enough and not just assume that because I am a certain way, I am only in this box. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in thinking inside the box. I like to think outside of the box, and that's something I instill in my children. And that's another reason why I promote and encourage them to do more work. And whatever they feel strongly about, I encourage them to plan for it, to organize for it, and I support them. And it just turned out that one of the advocacies that they feel very strongly about is supporting the LGBTQ community. And EJ especially, she has many friends who apparently come out to her. And at that age, it's so important to encourage them and let them know that they're in a safe space. So I tell her, one, you have to be a good friend, and two, you have to be a good human. So she's very active in supporting her friends and in just, I guess, an activist for equality. And I'm very proud of her for doing that. She even brings it over into school, which I know cannot be easy for her. So I encourage that. And that led to requesting for the Soji talks, which surprised me and probably everybody else when it was several heterosexual teenage boys who attended, and they walked away very proud of themselves, and they actually went to school that next week telling everybody what they had learned. And to me that was amazing, because it means that we are capable of learning and sharing and accepting the differences and the diversity. I would like to someday see myself sharing the ideas and the ideals of Happy and humanism, not just with my friends and family, but just taking that with me wherever I go. And if that leads me to other countries, then that would be even better. Of course, I believe that you start small and you start at home, so that alone would be great if it was just local. But hopefully, isn't that the goal? You want to spread that idea and that way of thinking throughout the world, especially the critical thinking and common sense, things like that. Honestly, I think the world right now lacks empathy and understanding. We claim to be advanced, and we supposedly have come a long way as far as equal rights, whether it be for the LGBTQ community or for gender. But honestly, I don't think that's actually the truth. The way that I see a lot of children now who are not even taught basic manners and common courtesy, I think that that's actually going to lead to less understanding in the future, and that's something I don't want to see. I hope that very soon we can learn to at least coexist together. It doesn't have to be 100% acceptance right away, but we can't also limit our scope of acceptance. We can't just say, oh yeah, I like these type of people. It's okay, but then when it's time to give equality and actual rights, no, I don't think that's right. To me, that's wrong. It's either you support 100% or at least listen to why they want that equality, rather than shutting them down, because that doesn't make sense. Listening ears. More of the listening ears, less of the hate, less of the talking. I am Angie Driskell, and I am a humanist.
I can see it in your eyes. You've seen the moon and its darker side.